and now I present to you my review of Pirates of the Caribbean 5, The Fall of the Lone Ranger. What happened? The Lone Ranger. Now this movie stars Armie Hammer as the Lone Ranger and Johnny Depp as the Indian Tonto. And in terms of plot, it basically is told in a flashback from an older version of Tonto telling the story to a young kid, recounting events that happened in his younger years. And what it does is it follows these two pairs as they kind of try to go after this outlaw who's made some deals with some corrupt lawmen, and he's trying to rob trains and get a hold of some pile of silver and gold for whatever reason. Now, I just like to come out right now and just state what worked in this film, because this movie gets a lot more wrong than it does right. Now, what works in this film is the overall look of the film. I would give special kudos to the set designers of this film, because it's unquestionably, in my opinion, the best looking Western film I've seen since True Grit. So, major respects to them. And Johnny Depp's performance as Tonto, it has a light and dark side to it, but for the most part, Johnny Depp gets it right. He's probably the most entertaining character in this film, but that's saying something. And I will say that William Fichtner's performance as the main villain was unquestionably the most disturbing villain I've probably seen this year. I may not like the decision that they've decided to put him as Shredder in the new Ninja Turtles film, but I think he works in this film and is probably the most memorable thing for me. Now, what this movie gets wrong is that the filmmakers are trying to use a formula they use for the pirate films and apply it to this, and it just doesn't work. You cannot just try to revamp everything that made the pirate movies so well to material that is completely different. The pirate world is completely different from the Wild Wild West world, and it really suffers for that. The script is all over the place, and the movie is drawn out to 2.5 hours long. That is not even a good length for this type of film. They should have taken 30 or 40 minutes out and dropped it to maybe an hour and a half, hour, 45 minutes tops to get your point across of where we're trying to go. They're trying to tell a simple story, but drag it out longer and add things which are just not necessary or just have no real significance to the overall plot. Now, going back to Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp is the master when it comes to playing Jack Sparrow, but that is precisely what he plays in this film, and I'm sorry, even as a fan of Jack Sparrow, I'm getting a little sick and tired of it. Maybe it's because he's so used to playing this character with this group of people that he doesn't know how to break that character, but you know, we all know he's capable of doing better characters. He doesn't always have to play Jack Sparrow. We all know he's capable of doing great characters, and I really hope he learns to break that soon, because it's really starting to get a bit annoying and, dare I say, boring at this point. I'm sorry for saying that. Another thing that doesn't work is Armie Hammer he's not really given enough material to actually work as a character, and sometimes he's just downright unlikable, and I'm like, this is the character I'm supposed to be rooting for? Another problem that this movie suffers is that it doesn't seem to have a direction. I mean, constantly, this isn't the type of movie that you want to think for, but when it's 2.5 hours long, I don't have a choice. I mean, if you're going to put this much time into a movie, then you bet your ass I'm going to use my brain to think. And there are constantly things going on in this movie that aren't making any sense and are never explained. Like, if they're telling the story in flashback formats, then how is Tonto able to explain events that he wasn't even there? I mean, what did he just guess? Is he making this stuff up? And these are the thoughts that are going into your mind as you're watching this. And my final point is something that a lot of people are complaining about, which, you know, on some level I have to agree, is the level of violence. Now, I understand that the pirate films are very, very violent, and maybe they're not really something you should take your kids to go see, but at least those movies are fun. This movie chose for a much, much darker and grittier tone, but fails to bring the whole fun aspect that make the pirate movies so entertaining. You can make something dark and gritty, but you have to entertain me. Don't just throw inconsistencies all throughout the film and try to play it out as entertainment, because it just doesn't work. Now, there are two main train action scenes, what I will say are the highlights of this film, but unfortunately they are not enough to save the flaws which just overflow in this film, which is why unfortunately I have to give The Lone Ranger a D+. If you really want to go see a real family film for this 4th of July, then I would suggest checking out Despicable Me. That movie does a much better job than this movie did. If you like this movie review, please like, comment down below, and please subscribe to track me in my future movie reviews. And like always, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.